What would you say, Sehaam, it is about sort of that modern, fast-paced, technologically driven working
Mm.
environment that we are in now that has
Mhm.
so many people disengaged, and why is it not conducive to the type of culture an organization needs to innovate and thrive? Uh, it's almost like a two-parter. Obviously, it makes sense
Yeah.
that people should be engaged, but what do you think is going on that's causing this huge disengagement that is happening with people within their work? Is it because there's so many distractions and so much else going on in their life, or is it something about a corporate structure, culture, or I'm sure you come across it all. What would you feel are some of the main reasons why this is happening, and ways that we can turn it around?
Yeah. That's a good question. For me, human beings we're pretty amazing things. We're incredible inventors, and let's take the last 150 years, for example. We've created some giant machines all the way through to microscopic computers, right? We're incredible engineers. We love processes, and we're great at designing things. But for me, Jim, I think one area that we've hugely neglected, and we're starting to talk about now in the workplace, is humanity. Let me explain that a little bit more. When we put on our clothes to go to work, it's a bit like a portal for me. And what happens when we put on our work clothes and we're transitioning to work? We seem to shed some of our values, some of our beliefs, and we sort of walk into work and we have an expectation, rose-tinted, that everything really should go quite smoothly. And it's an irritation if it doesn't. The thing that I'm seeing there is that we are not good at dealing with adversity. We're not good at dealing with conflict. We don't like to say at work, I don't agree with you. And in fact, we don't like it so much that actually most of the time we don't say anything at all. We'll go along with whatever is being suggested. We don't want to rock the boat, and we don't want to jeopardize our careers. Now, that's a really poor response to what naturally occurs in life. I don't know anywhere on this earth where life unfolds without a glitch. Maybe you do, Jim. I'd love to know.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't happen. So we have this expectation that, things should go smoothly. So when they don't, it's annoying. It's a real irritation. And we're not very good at dealing with it. And we're quite happy to sidestep it if we can. So, and that really does not make for, you can't bring your heart to your workplace, your environment, your whole being, and that's not allowed or enabled by an organization. You are really missing a trick, because people do engage. People love to engage, but it has to be the right sorts of environments that makes it conducive. So I think one of the key pieces is that humanity piece. We really need to figure out better ways. The skills that got us here today are inadequate for, a faster, more complex, much more layered work environment. And so if we don't have that, and I think that's what's contributing to a lack of engagement, because leaders aren't in touch with that. They've sort of developed a veneer, if you like, for what's expected of them at work, what they expect of other people. And so there is this lack of real, genuine human engagement within the workplace.
And a lot of times what happens, too, is, as you mentioned, it's not hard to see why somebody would sort of check out, because I guess this is more of almost like a global crisis in leadership. There are people who are being promoted into leadership positions, but who really don't have any leadership skills. It isn't that you just work and should be promoted into a leadership role if that is not something that really is specifically your calling, meant for you, something that really you are trained and skilled and designed for. There are a lot of people who are in leadership skills, leadership roles, who are, I guess, looking at it more as being a boss versus a leader. And that whole concept has changed within our culture, right? The boss up in the ivory tower looking down at the employees, that whole world is phasing out quickly because a successful leader needs to be on the front lines and engaged with the sleeves rolled up and working with folks and letting them know they're valued and important and part of the team, and they have a voice in the success of the company, right? Do I have that right?
Right, absolutely. And, you know, those figures that you mentioned at the beginning, that is a crisis. That most definitely is a crisis by any measure. 70% is an appalling rate of engagement within our organizations, especially when we spend so much of our time at work, right?
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. More hours than sometimes we would like, but it's just part of the way the culture is right now. So this is all leading to why SC Coaching and Consulting is invaluable, and why you are invaluable through your years of experience and the trail that you've been blazing in your own life as well, and it makes you an essential ingredient to the success of companies and people as leaders. You really obviously can't count on organizations to sort of develop a leader. Maybe even years ago they were able to do it a little bit more, but time is money and people are running around and everybody's doing 3 or 4 different tasks now.